Hello, good afternoon. It is the 21st of May, 2024. Just had some really interesting news come in, which I wanted to share. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to go through the whole document because it's really interesting, but there's a lot of intricate details in there. And it's about basically freezing, or the UK government looking at potentially having access to be able to freeze your crypto, which isn't too good. Not something that we all want to hear, but anyway, it was probably going to be coming sooner rather than later. But as I said, I'm not going to go through all the details, and I will share the link in the comments below. So what's it about? What does the ECCT mean for crypto? So yeah, the passing of the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act 2023, ECCT in brackets, earlier this year has given law enforcement agencies and investigators a raft of new powers which to investigate financial crimes. Yay, just what we really don't need at the moment. But anyway, on the horizon to be coming. Among these measures are new powers related to cryptocurrency and crypto assets, which were ambiguously defined and difficult to account for in the existing legal framework. I bet they were. Furthermore, under the ECCT, crypto assets can be handled in much the same way as bank accounts or physical assets during an investigation, it states. This means they can be frozen, put under investigation, and ultimately earmarked for recovery. If digital assets are found to be in the process of a criminal activity or intended for the use in committing a crime, UK authorities will now be in a much stronger position to cut off the source of funding. I think it was a matter of time when this was going to happen, where governments would potentially look at bank accounts, looking at a way of sort of cutting off the source. Obviously, for legitimate people like myself and everybody else that is a legitimate investor within Bitcoin or crypto, we've got nothing to worry about, we hope. But I found it interesting that this is now starting to come out. It's obviously more regulations happening out in the market in the UK. So anybody that's in the UK, it'll be really good to kind of get your feedback actually and your comments. Have any of you actually had this before happen to you, or is it new to you? Have you had any issues, or friends or colleagues that have had any sort of feedback from these regulation bodies? Again, it'd be good to get some comments below. Let's get some communication going on this. And then here, look, further down, what are the new powers? Seizure and forfeiture law enforcement agencies can now seize, freeze, recover crypto assets in much the same way as they would freeze bank accounts or seize physical assets. Sale and destruction of assets. The ECCT allows enforcement agencies to sell seized crypto assets under the authorization of magistrates' courts. Great. It's nice to hear again. It looks like they'll be passing that over to the courts to sell. But anyway, it's on the agenda. We knew something was going to be coming. And let's face it, we need regulation anyway. But what kind of does worry me is how far they will take this. And are parties going to be pulled up on this? So you and I, legitimate crypto investors, will we get a call or a knock at the door to say, hey, can we have your cold wallet address? Or we've got your address details, we're going to freeze your assets until further notice. That's the bit I'm hoping it won't happen, obviously. But if it does, then that's a major pain. But judging from what police and government agencies have done in this situation before, is I would imagine they would only be doing this if there is a legitimate reason to find out, or to find out if a potential person or business has a particular issue going on. Something like a red flag needs to be raised, and then obviously they would go after all the assets, whether they're soft storage on an exchange or on a cold wallet, or even on a multi-sig wallet address as well. I'm sure they're going to be coming after everything. So how might the ECCT affect investors? Really good question. POCA, P-O-C-A, introduced the account freezing order, the AFO. Well, they've got a terminology for this, the account freezing order, which restricts access to a bank or building society account owned by an individual or a business. With the addition of similar powers over crypto accounts within the ECCT, we expect that the crypto wallet freezing orders will become more widely used in the next few years, which could have serious consequences for people who have done nothing wrong, which is kind of what I mentioned earlier on, which wouldn't be good, but I think it's quite far-fetched that that would happen. Because the new powers aim to be comprehensive, we are concerned that there will be very little oversight of law enforcement officers seeking to freeze and seize assets. This could create serious problems for people who are not even under investigation. Again, that's open for debate, but we will soon find out. Enforcement agencies will need to make more cross requests for information about crypto transactions, which will take time and can delay any investigation. So for investors, it'll be more difficult to prove that assets are legitimate in origin and because of the way that crypto transactions and the technology that underpins them work. As such, anyone who is made the subject of an AFO, or crypto wallet freezing order, should seek legal advice immediately. It may be possible to have these orders discharged or varied, which can sometimes allow you money you need for living expenses, business operation expenses, legal fees, and not to mention, most probably, tax fees as well. So really interesting article there from London Loves Business. I'm going to share that out on the comments. Please give us your feedback. It'd be really, really good to hear. We're all on this journey together, and it'll be lovely to hear people in the UK specifically, if you've had problems, and if you've been obviously a part of this framework yet. It seems very, very new, but you never know. It's always good to see if there's people out there that have had particular issues. So I'll leave the link below, but thanks so much for watching, and we'll speak soon.